Hello everybody, and welcome to the Daily Splat. Today is video number 17 in our series of 20 previewing the 2012-2013 English Premier League season. I almost thought it was last year. And today we are previewing the season for Tottenham. Now, I say previewing the season, it's actually begun now because last night, at least last night here, Perth time, the Premier League kicked off and we had some very interesting games, and one of the teams that were playing were Tottenham. They were in the late kick-off against Newcastle at St James's Park, where they were beaten 2-1 by the Magpies. Jermaine Defoe scoring for Spurs in Andre Villas-Boas' first game in charge of Spurs in the Premier League, but losing out thanks to goals from Demba Ba and from the penalty spot, Hatim Ben Arfa. Going to Newcastle, never an easy thing. Newcastle generally pretty good at home, even against the top sides. They normally get some form of result most of the time. So for Tottenham, it wasn't a bad showing, but it was a little disjointed. Anyway, just looking at the team as a whole, they have made a couple of signings so far. Best start there. One of whom played last night, and that's Gylfi Sigurdsson. Now he's being seen as the Luka Modric replacement, although he played a bit further up the field than Modric normally did for Tottenham, because apparently Modric is on his way to Real Madrid. We've been waiting for about 3 weeks for it to be confirmed, really. So yeah, Sigurdsson was playing a bit further up the pitch from where Modric normally played. He was playing just behind the striker, which is where Van der Vaart tends to play, and indeed Van der Vaart did come on for him in the Newcastle game to no avail really. Sigurdsson, I think, looked alright, and I think he's going to actually be a pretty useful player for Tottenham Hotspur. The other player they brought in, who we didn't see, was Jan Vertonghen, the centre-back, who I think is a pretty excellent signing for Spurs. I was surprised he didn't play. I thought he would have got a run out against Newcastle, but maybe they're just saving him for, I don't know, next week, or we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, Tottenham have brought in these two players, Vertonghen and Sigurdsson. Now, they have needed some improvement in the defence and a Modric replacement, because as is expected, Modric should be on his way to Real Madrid, and he would join the likes of Steven Pienaar, Louis Saha, Ryan Nelson, Nico Kranjčar, Ledley King, and Vedran Korluka, who've all left the club this summer. Ledley King retired because of his chronic injury problem. It's finally sort of proven too much to him, so he has now retired. And the likes of Korluka and Kranjčar have moved on to other leagues, and Nelson and Saha are both moving to other Premier League sides. Saha went on a free, as did Nelson. Saha's gone to Sunderland. Nelson is now at Queen's Park Rangers. And of course Pienaar has returned to Everton, because apparently that's the only place he can play football well. So Spurs as a whole, there's still a very good team in there. Obviously they've still got Gareth Bale and Aaron Lennon on the wings, two very good wingers, and I thought they were probably Spurs' best performers last night. Lennon in particular I thought was quite impressive. The trouble is with Spurs at the moment, aside from the whole Luka Modric is leaving thing, is obviously they've got this new manager in AVB who's replacing Harry Redknapp, who was sacked after last season. And the main problem is they just don't have a strike force. Their strike force is Jermaine Defoe. Now, not a bad striker, I'll grant you. You know, Defoe, he's now played 299 games for Tottenham, and he's scored, I think it's 113 goals for them. So, you know, it's not a bad strike record at all. But it's one striker who is coming towards, the end of his career, or certainly he's well into the second half of his career now, you'd imagine, and they need other options. Quite frankly, quite simply, just in case he gets injured. Emmanuel Adebayor has been linked quite heavily, but there's been no action there. It's possibly because of wage demands, even though City are keen to get off the books. Apparently, Tottenham and Adebayor haven't been quite able to agree a deal on wages. So we'll have to see if that one does resolve itself. It's also been rumoured that Tottenham are looking at the likes of Leandro Diamao, I can't say his name, but the Brazilian striker from the Olympics. Leandro Diamao, I think that's how you say it. But yeah, so they have been linked with other forwards. Another one is Fernando Llorente, although he's quite expensive, so we'll have to wait and see if Spurs do splash the cash. They're just waiting for the cash to come in from Modric, I think, before they go out and get a centre forward. And to be honest, they probably need to pick up two, maybe like a very good one and a good young one, so that at least they've got some options. They don't just have to play one up front all the time. It's going to be interesting, I think, and I'm not sure it's necessarily going to be as good a season for Spurs this time round. They finished fourth last season and were unlucky in that they didn't qualify for the Champions League because Chelsea won the tournament, and because Chelsea didn't finish in the top four, they took the fourth spot for qualifying for the Champions League, and lo and behold, there you have it. Tottenham were the team that lost out, so very unlucky there. I think Spurs are going to be all right. I don't think they're going to qualify for the Champions League, but I think they'll probably finish fifth. Obviously Newcastle were going to be one of their main competitors for that spot, and Newcastle did beat them, but I think Tottenham have possibly a slightly better squad, slightly better individual players as well than Newcastle. I think it's going to be an interesting battle between them, and as we saw with Liverpool yesterday, they are a work in progress, to be kind to them. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I think Spurs will get fifth. I think AVB might turn out to be all right for them as well. I know he's going to be getting a lot of stick at the moment because he's lost his first game here at Tottenham and he was a bit of a flop at Chelsea. But I think for Tottenham they just need this transfer window to be over. Basically, they just need to get through the next couple of weeks, move Luka Modric on, spend the money that they get to get in a forward and possibly a different central midfielder to help out the likes of Livermore and Sandro, and then from there just try and get this team going, because there is some genuinely good talent in there. Another player I thought did fairly okay last night was Asu Okato and Kyle Walker. They could two very good fullbacks, I think, as well. And Brad Friedel still doing the job in the sticks as well. So, he's there's some good experience and talent there, and I think they'll be all right. I think they'll get fifth, though. I don't think this is going to be a team that will finish in the Champions League, but not far off it either. Anyway, that's all for today. Tomorrow we'll be previewing West Brom, who of course got off to a flying start against Liverpool. We'll be looking at some of their summer acquisitions and seeing what they can expect from this season. Okay, that is all for today. Tune in tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.